Hey ladies, let's dive into a topic that so many women are curious about: how to attract a man who's ready to provide. Now, I know we've all seen those couples where the guy just can't do enough for his woman. He's constantly spoiling her, paying attention to her needs and supporting her dreams. So what makes a man want to be this kind of provider? And how can you attract this type of masculine energy into your life? Today we're going deep on this topic, looking at what really draws men in and makes them want to step up for the woman in their life. Let's get started. Let's first define what we mean by a provider man. This is a guy who's naturally driven to protect and support the people he loves, especially his partner. He's not stingy with his time, energy, or resources, and genuinely wants to see his partner flourish. Think of couples like Jay-Z and Beyoncé, or even Russell Wilson and Ciara. These men are often successful, driven, and confident, but they also seem to find deep fulfillment in uplifting and caring for the women they love. But remember, these kinds of relationships don't just happen. Women like Beyoncé and Ciara didn't stumble into these dynamics by accident. They've worked on cultivating traits and energy that resonate with a masculine provider. A key aspect that provider men look for is a woman who knows her worth. Think about it. When you hold yourself to a high standard, people around you will recognize and respect it. This doesn't mean being entitled or demanding, but it does mean having boundaries and knowing what you bring to the table. Women like Rihanna and Amal Clooney embody this. They're successful and confident in their own right, and they don't chase validation. They bring value to the relationship just by being themselves, and that's magnetic to a man who's ready to provide. Men feel naturally inspired to support a woman who already has a strong sense of her own worth. Provider men are often drawn to women who fully embrace their feminine energy. This doesn't mean fitting into stereotypes. Rather, it's about being open, nurturing, and receptive. A lot of baddie culture, yes, the baddie culture we all know and love, taps into this. Women who lean into their femininity attract men who want to protect and support. Beyoncé often speaks about embracing her feminine side to create harmony in her relationship with Jay-Z. This femininity isn't weakness. It's actually a powerful way to create balance. For a man to truly step into his role as a provider, he needs to feel respected and appreciated. Men, especially provider types, thrive on appreciation. It's almost like fuel. When a woman recognizes his efforts and shows gratitude, he's more inclined to give even more. Look at Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. Both are hugely successful, but they frequently show appreciation and respect for each other, both publicly and privately. This mutual respect makes him want to keep stepping up. Now let's talk about some things that can actually push away a provider man. We've all made these mistakes, no judgment. But if you're looking to attract a man who loves to provide, it's important to be mindful. First, chasing and over-pursuing. We've all heard the phrase, if you chase him, he'll run. This is especially true with provider men. They're naturally attracted to women who are more receptive than assertive. So avoid over-pursuing or constantly seeking validation from him. Women like Jennifer Lopez, who radiate confidence and allow men to step into their masculine roles, are naturally attractive to provider types. Second, being overly independent. While independence is great, too much of it can signal to a provider man that you don't need him. And when a man doesn't feel needed, he's less likely to step up. For example, women who say, "I don't need a man," may unintentionally push men away because a true provider wants to feel like he's adding value. So be open to letting him help and support you. That's how you create a connection where he feels fulfilled by providing. Third, expecting without giving. Provider men do want to give, but they also want to be valued. If a woman expects gifts, dates, and time without offering emotional support or showing appreciation, it can create resentment. Think about successful couples who celebrate each other's strengths, like Dwyane Wade and Gabrielle Union. Both contribute to the relationship in different ways, but there's a balance where each feels valued. So now that we've covered the do's and don'ts, let's talk about some actionable steps to attract and keep a provider man. Work on your self-worth. Your confidence and self-esteem need to be genuine. Spend time investing in yourself, whether that's through self-care, career growth, or personal hobbies. Men who want to provide will naturally gravitate toward a woman who takes pride in herself. Look at women like Meghan Markle, who carved out her own identity and career before marrying into the royal family. Her sense of self-worth is evident, and it's clear that Prince Harry admires this about her. Stay open to receiving. This is a big one. If a man wants to provide, let him. Sometimes we feel like we have to earn things or avoid being a burden. But if you allow him to give freely, whether that's his time, affection, or resources, he will feel even more connected to you. When a man feels he can add value to your life, it makes him more invested in the relationship. Show your appreciation. Don't underestimate the power of a simple thank you. Show genuine appreciation when he goes out of his way for you. A lot of women forget this because they assume their partner knows they're grateful, but actually expressing it strengthens the bond and makes him want to give even more. Be yourself. Lastly, don't fall into the trap of trying to be perfect. Provider men aren't looking for a flawless partner. They're looking for someone who's real and authentic. So embrace who you are, quirks and all. The right man will appreciate you for you, not an idealized version of you. At the end of the day, attracting a provider man isn't about tricks or manipulation. It's about embodying qualities that allow him to step into his natural role. High self-worth, openness to receiving, genuine appreciation, and authentic femininity are the core traits that will attract and keep a provider man invested. Hit that like button and subscribe if you enjoyed this deep dive, and let me know in the comments what you think about provider dynamics. See you on the next video. Meanwhile, stay true to yourself, and remember, attracting a provider isn't about changing who you are. It's about enhancing the amazing qualities you already have.